I mean, this life has been good to me. I have no complaints. I mean, everything that's happened to me. Of course, it all would have happened somewhere else, you know. I mean, so if I never went to the Coast Guard recruiter, I think I'd be somewhere. I'd be doing something. I think I'd be married. I think I'd have kids. I think I'd have grandkids. But I don't know that, right? So all I can base it on is that everything I have now, every friend I have, every son-in-law, every grandson, my wife, they were all a product of the fact that I made the decision to go into the Coast Guard. If you really start with, none of it happens, at least the way it is now, had I not chose this lifestyle, you know, and the people, like I said, you know, it's always been about the people. The mission is, you know, the mission is fantastic. Most of the Coast Guard missions are, you know, they're right up front, whether they're migrant interdictions or drug interdictions or search and rescue, helicopters, jumping out of helicopters, small boats. You know, it's all right in your face kind of stuff, and everyone plays a role in that. Not everyone gets to jump out of a helicopter or put the cuffs on a drug runner, but everybody plays a part, you know, and part of that team. But I mean, it's afforded me some amazing opportunities, from chasing penguins around Antarctica to walking into a room with 44,000 pounds of marijuana in it to, you know, and everything in between, you know, the things that I've got to see and do, and mostly the people, you know, that I've come across, a lot of which I still keep in touch with, is I can't complain about the lifestyle I've chose. You know, it's probably not going to get you rich. So if you're looking for that, you know, maybe not. But if you're smart, you can live a pretty comfortable life, you know.
What do you think your wife would say, looking back on your career? Have y'all had this conversation?
You know,
She got any regrets?
I don't think so. First of all, she's super easygoing, and you know, there were some there were some lean years there when my lack of motivation to advance, and those happened to be the same years that we started adding kids into the mix, and I was gone. I was gone, and she was home with one or two or three, young kids, and not making a lot of money and not getting a chance herself to work, because she'd have been working to pay daycare at that point, so I mean, I got to give her a lot of credit. What would she say? I'd like to think that she would say a lot of the same things I said about. Of course, she gets all the stories, but not the experiences.
Yeah.
So she gets to hear it all when I come home and see it all. And but I'd like to think that she would say that she's enjoyed the ride and the moving and the things that she otherwise probably would have never gotten to see. And I don't know where she would have wound up had she not met me. She could be still in Washington, and never left that state. I don't know. But I'd like to think that she's been happy with the ride and the places it's taken us and the things that we've gotten to do and see, and the friends that we've made, some of which are Coast Guard people, a lot of which are just people in the community that you meet once you get settled in and you start playing softball or doing extracurricular things. I mean, we've made a lot of good friends as a result of the fact that the Coast Guard plopped us here in Juneau 21 or 22 years ago, and would have never met any of those people had it not been for that. So.
Mm-hmm.